Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. And what we're going to be talking about today is, have you ever been at work and your boss tells you to do something and maybe you should have stood up for yourself, or maybe you should have said something? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Or have you been in an argument with your significant other, right? And you wish you would have spoken up about whatever the subject was, or at least stood up for yourself, or put up more of a fight. Not literally, but obviously standing up for yourself. That's what we're going to be talking about. I have an article here where maybe it's time for you to learn how to stand up for yourself. So don't let it slide. How standing up for yourself transforms your self-worth. That is what this channel is about, is transforming your self-worth, standing up for yourself, loving yourself, because nobody else is going to. All right, so every time you let it slide, that doesn't sit right with you, right? Go back to that job scenario where your boss says, hey, you know, so-and-so doesn't want to do the work, so I'm asking you to do it. And maybe you're the reliable type. And maybe you should have said no, or maybe you should have said something, or maybe you should have said, well, what am I going to get if I do this for you? See, not many employees say that, right? So you're disrespecting yourself every time you let it slide. It's like telling yourself that your feelings, needs, and opinions do not matter. And they do matter so much because it says a lot about you. Do you care about yourself? Do you love yourself, right? This isn't about being rude or always getting your way, but about recognizing your worth and standing up for it. You see, a lot of people are takers and abusers out there, and you need to put these people in check if you're a giver, or if you care, or if you have a heart, because most people want you to be just as heartless as they are. So think about it. When you stay silent in moments that upsets you, you're pushing down your true feelings. You're allowing someone else's words or actions to take priority over your peace of mind. Over time, this can chip away at your self-esteem. You might start to feel small, invisible, or even unimportant. This is a heavy burden to carry, and it's one that only gets heavier the longer you ignore it or just let it go. It's easy to let things slide for the sake of peace, but at the sake of your peace, your inner mind peace, right? To avoid conflict, or because you think it's not a big deal. But each time you do, you're sending a message to yourself that your comfort and happiness is, you got it, secondary. You're teaching yourself that other people's feelings matters more than your own. This habit of self-neglect can become ingrained, making it harder to break free and assert yourself later on. All of this stems from your childhood, okay? Because if you've been doing this is a habit for you, all right? Standing up for yourself doesn't mean you have to be aggressive or confrontational. It means expressing your feelings honestly. That's it. And respectfully. It means saying, that hurts my feelings, or I don't agree with that. When something bothers you, it means valuing your voice and giving it the space it deserves. Self-respect is about acknowledging that you deserve to be treated well by others, and most importantly, yourself. When you let things slide, that makes you uncomfortable and happy, right? You've been there. You're doing the job, even though you know inside you should have said something, but there you are, dealing with it, talking yourself through it, right? And you don't feel good about it. You're not respecting your own boundaries. That's what all this is about. You're allowing others to dictate how you should feel and react. This can lead to a cycle of resentment and frustration, which both towards yourself, towards yourself and others. Breaking the cycle starts with small steps. That's what we're talking about today, and that's pretty much the reason why I'm making this video, is because it starts with baby steps. It takes one step in front of the other, and that's what I'm talking about. Begin by recognizing and naming your feelings. When something doesn't sit right with you, take a moment to understand why. Practice expressing these feelings, even if it's just to yourself at first. As you become more comfortable with your own voice, start sharing it with others. Okay, and you're listening to Let's Talk About It, and this is a channel that we talk about abuse, neglect, and whatever comes with it. You know, the not respecting yourself, not standing up for yourself, not sharing your feelings, right? That's what we're talking about here. And we also talk about drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and things like that. Things that affect millions of Americans each year. And we give money to all these alcoholic beverage companies, and they're making billions off of our sorrows. So that's why I made this channel, and I'm reading this article to you, because you are the most important thing in your life. So let's get back to the article, because it's important to remember that you have the right to stand up for yourself. Your feelings are valid, and your comfort is very important. By honoring your true self, you not only build your own self-esteem, but you also teach others how to treat you. You're showing the world that you value yourself, and that is very important, and that you expect the same from others. In the end, respecting yourself is about creating a life where your needs and feelings are just as important as anyone else's. It's about living automatically and standing firm in your truth. Every time you stand up for yourself, you're reinforcing your self-worth. Every time you let something slide, you lose a bit of that respect. Choose to honor yourself and watch how your life changes for the better. And this is Mario with Let's Talk About It. Leave a like, share, subscribe, where you will listening to more encouraging articles than what's out in the media. So I will see you in a later video.